what you're going to need is a masking frame, and use it the side. It's the side same size as 8 by 10, so that's the size we're going to print at. You're going to need a blower brush to get any dust off your negative, and you're going to need some contrast filters. We do have some of these in college for you to use. The first thing you're going to need to do is take out the neg carrier. It just slides in and out like so. Place it down on your baseboard and lift it up. Place your negative in the neg carrier with the shiny side of the negative facing upwards and upside down. And what I mean by that is this. Let me just hold the camera. So shiny side up and the image upside down that way. And you can see there's a 35mm window to put your negative into, and then close that down. It's all in place now. So I've got a blower brush, and I'd normally do this holding it. You can gently brush off any dust that's on your negative, and before you put it in the neg carrier, make sure there are no watermarks on it either. Do that on both sides. Then you're ready then to replace the neg carrier with your image inserted. Control the box onto focus, and an image, if I turn my safe light off, the image is being projected onto the masking frame. You can use your masking frame like a crop, or you can make your image fit within the frame by making the larger head lower, and you can see the image is fitting into the frame a bit more, except now it's totally out of focus. So to focus it, the focus knob here, if you turn that, the concertina goes up and down a bit. You'll see that the image is becoming sharp and out of focus, and sharp and out of focus. So get it where it looks in focus. And now I can see that my image is actually too small. It's not fitting within the black frame, so I have to make it bigger. So again, up, fit the frame. We can go slightly outside, refocus, and then you can think about your composition. It's best to do this with the light from your enlarger at its highest, its brightest, so you can actually see what you're doing. Okay, so make sure it's up as bright as it'll go, and then once you've focused it where you think it looks really sharp, use this focus finder. And while you're looking through the focus finder, you adjust the focus wheel at the same time and ever so slightly move it until you find the grain of your film. Now the camera won't actually go in there to see that, so you have to do that yourself. So you're looking for the fine grain. It looks a little bit like salt and pepper. Once you've found the grain of the film and you've fine focused it, you can then add your contrast filter. Here's my number 4 contrast filter. They are mine, and I've actually put my initials in a corner in case I forget to put it back in the packet. And it's going to go up here into this black and white system for filters. I'm not going to pull this out now because the light's on. So if I turn the light off on the enlarger, I can pull it out without flooding light into the darkroom. And this piece of pink plastic just fits inside there. And once you've put it in, just push it back in. I've got my filter in. I can see it's a little bit pinky. That should help increase the contrast on my photograph. What I need to do now is stop down this image quite a lot. I'm going to stop it down until I can just about make out the image is still there. I'm just going to go back up again. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go down 3 stops. And this is now then ready for me to do a test strip. Torn off a test strip along the longest edge of my 8x10 paper, and I need to now place it under the frame of the masking frame, and I've placed it where my figures are, because that's what I really want to make sure I get the correct exposure for. If I get that right, the rest should be all right. To make a test strip, piece of black card. There are 2 ways to do this. You can go across this way in increments of whatever you decide. But because this image has the figures in the middle, I want to actually test long and thin so I can see that detail and then make a decision from that. So I'm going to set my timer. I'm going to start at 5. I might have to do a few test strips for this image. You don't always get it right first time, so don't be too despondent. Resting on the black edges, press your start button. The light goes on and off for 5 seconds. I'm going to repeat that all the way down my test strip, trying to make sure I don't move the test strip. Let the chemical drip off. Put it into the wash to get some of the fix off. Pop it in a tray and go outside and look at it in the daylight to make your decision. So always check your times in the daylight. In the dark room, I thought the top section looked far too dark, but actually now it looks okay. Count from the lightest to the darkest and choose the timings that have black, white and grey within the image. So you want a range of tones, but you're looking for that black and that white and that grey. So I'm actually going to choose 30 seconds, the darkest one. I don't have any photographic paper out, so what I'm going to do is a final check on the focus using the focus finder, but I'm not going to adjust any of the settings. I'm going to leave them exactly as they are. So lift up the edge of your masking frame, being careful not to move it. Place your paper against the edges of these little metal strips on the corners and the top and side. What that will do is that will give you a nice, crisp, straight white border on your print. Being very careful not to move it as you place down the masking frame, and there's a little lock in the corner to lock it into place. Now you're ready for your exposure, so set your time. I'm doing 30 seconds. Press your start button. And now my image is being exposed. Okay, the light's just gone off, so I'm ready to develop, stop, fix and wash my 8x10 inch print. Same process as before, follow the times. And that is making an 8x10 print from a 35mm negative.